This is your study guide for the 3-5 to 3-6 quiz. Question number 1 says, how do you know, just by looking at a graph, whether a function is increasing or decreasing? Or it could be constant, I suppose. So let's go ahead and take care of all of those options. So if a graph is increasing, that means both variables are increasing. And the slope is positive. It looks like that. So we have a positive slope because both variables are increasing. But it's possible that one of your variables is increasing while the other is decreasing. So in this case, x is increasing, y is decreasing, and that causes a negative slope. That would be a decreasing function. We have one more option here, and that is if one of our variables does not change, but the other one does. This would give us either zero slope or undefined slope, depending on which variable is not changing. So it might look like this, that's constant, or it might look like this, that is constant. So in this one, I either have zero slope or undefined slope. But just by looking at this, I can tell this one is positive, this function is positive, this function is negative, and this function is constant. Question number 2 says to label each interval as increasing, decreasing, or constant. So I don't have any of my intervals numbered or lettered. Sometimes we use numbers, sometimes we use letters. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quick. I'm going to use letters. I'm going to call that A, B, C, D, and E. Anytime you have a change in the slope, you have a new interval. So the ones that are increasing, I will list here. The ones that are decreasing, I will list here. And the ones that are constant, I will list here. So if you remember, our increasing functions are the ones that look like we're going uphill. So C and D both look like they're going uphill. Our decreasing functions look like they're going downhill. That would be interval A and E. And then our constant appears to just be nice and steady, and that is interval B. All right, this is question number 3. Let's decide the dependent variable and then write a scenario for this graph. So what I'm asking you to do is decide, what are you comparing? Are you comparing time to distance, time to speed, time to height? All of those will give you different stories. So depending on what you decide there, our answers will vary. But your story, your scenario, should have something start at 0, and I know that because right there is the beginning of our graph, and increase the whole time. So whatever you decide for your dependent variable will give you the settings, as we might say, for your story. Make sure your story starts at 0 and it's increasing the entire time. Question number 4 is very similar. The first thing that we're going to want to do is decide our dependent variable. So you have time versus what? Time versus height, time versus money, time versus distance, time versus what? So depending on what you decide here, again, your answers will vary. So your stories will be different depending on what that variable is. But this time, your story should start high on the graph. So if you're talking money, you have lots of money. If you're talking height, you have lots of height. If you're talking distance, you have lots of distance. And then come down to 0 at the end. So depending on your variable, we're going to have different stories, but every story should start high on the graph. It's going to be constant for just a hair. I forgot to mention this is constant for just a tick, and then it's going to come down all the way to 0 at the end. Okay, one more of these. Question number 5 says that we are going to decide on your dependent variable. You're going to have time versus something. I'm not sure what that something is, but you will decide that, and that will make all of our answers vary. So if somebody did speed, their story is going to be different than if somebody did height, for example. But depending on what you pick, everybody's story, your story, should start, above 0 and consistently increase from there. So you'll notice we have a y-intercept that is not 0. So make sure whatever you're talking about at the beginning, you have a little more than 0. And then it's going to increase consistently from there. Question number 6 says, sketch a graph to match. Parents donated candy for IAR testing and filled my bin. After the first 2 tests, I ran out, so I had to ask for more donations. Donations were again added to the bin for the 3rd test. Your independent variable x will be time, and your dependent variable y will be the amount of candy in my bin. All right, so let's go ahead and set this up. It already told me my variables. It told me my independent variable x is time. That's an x. And my dependent is amount of candy. That's my dependent. And we're going to assume that I don't have any candy. So we're going to start at, Mrs. Weeks has no candy at the beginning of this. So I'm going to put out the call to parents. They are going to consistently send me some candy. My bin is going to fill. And I'm going to hold on to it until IAR testing, when I'm going to give it all away. I'm out. So then I had to ask parents again. Now there might be a little bit of a constant here, possibly, or it can just go straight back up again. So right down here, it would absolutely be okay to have a constant while I'm waiting for the candy, but we're just going to imagine that parents just, bam, they're going to give me the candy immediately. All right, that is the end of your study guide. Good luck on your test.